The 2024 election looms. Will history repeat itself? Donald Trump, a master of political theater, has hinted at a familiar script. Trump and his allies are laying the groundwork for a potential election challenge. Their strategy mirrors 2020: sow doubt, raise concerns about election integrity, and prepare legal challenges. Mail-in ballots, a frequent target of Trump's ire, are again in the crosshairs. Allegations of voter fraud, despite a lack of evidence, continue to fuel the fire. This preemptive strike seeks to undermine confidence in the electoral process. The echoes of 2020 reverberate, a stark warning of the political storm that may lie ahead. The nation holds its breath. A new battlefront emerges in the fight for election integrity non-citizen voting. Trump and the GOP are sounding the alarm, claiming widespread voter fraud by non-citizens. Their weapon of choice? Lawsuits. Across the country, legal challenges aim to tighten voter registration and purge voter rolls. The GOP argues these measures are necessary to protect the sanctity of the vote. However, experts are skeptical, arguing that non-citizen voting is exceedingly rare. Critics see a more sinister mode of voter suppression, disproportionately targeting minority communities. The debate rages on. Is non-citizen voting a real threat to democracy, or a phantom menace used to justify voter suppression? The Republican National Committee, RNC, is on the offensive. Over 100 lawsuits related to voting rules and procedures have been filed, a legal blitzkrieg aimed at shaping the electoral landscape. The RNC's targets are clear measures that expand voter access. Early voting, mail-in voting, same-day registration, all are under fire. The RNC argues these measures open the door to fraud, undermining election integrity. Critics, however, see a different agenda: voter suppression, particularly targeting communities of color and young people. The sheer volume of lawsuits represents a well-funded, coordinated effort to influence the rules of the game. This legal crusade has profound implications, raising fundamental questions about access to the ballot box. The fight for the right to vote is far from over. Mail-in mayhem, the return of an old foe. Like a recurring nightmare, mail-in voting is back in the crosshairs. Trump and his allies, fueled by baseless claims of widespread fraud, are waging war on this popular voting method. These claims, however, have been repeatedly debunked. Experts agree. Mail-in voting is a safe and secure way to cast a ballot. Critics argue it's a blatant attempt to suppress voter turnout, particularly among Democratic-leaning voters. By sowing doubt about its security, Trump and his allies hope to discourage its use and gain an electoral advantage. The consequences of this disinformation campaign are far-reaching, eroding public trust in elections. Will mail-in voting survive this assault? Gearing up for battle post-election preparations. The Trump camp is preparing for war, not with tanks and troops but with lawyers and lawsuits. They are assembling a legal army, raising funds and strategizing for a potential post-election battle. Their goal? To challenge the results if Trump loses. This preemptive strike is a clear indication that they are not confident in a fair fight. Trump's allies are fanning out across the country, recruiting lawyers and identifying potential legal challenges. They are laying the groundwork for a protracted legal battle, one that could drag on for weeks or even months after Election Day. This aggressive posturing has raised alarm bells across the political spectrum. Experts warn that it could lead to a constitutional crisis, further eroding public trust in democratic institutions. The stakes are high. The stakes are high: trust, turnout, and democracy. The potential consequences of Trump's election challenge strategy are profound. They strike at the very heart of American democracy, threatening to undermine public trust and suppress voter turnout. The constant drumbeat of unsubstantiated claims of voter fraud erodes faith in the electoral process. This erosion of trust is a dangerous game, one that could have long-lasting consequences for American democracy. Moreover, the focus on restricting voting access disproportionately impacts marginalized communities. This disenfranchisement further exacerbates existing inequalities and undermines the principle of equal representation. The actions of Trump and his allies in the coming months will have a profound impact on the future of American democracy. Will the nation emerge from this tumultuous period with its democratic institutions intact?